Hey, good afternoon, Bob. Trade Genius, the 6th of June. Excuse me. And there's something definitely in the wind. I'm not quite sure what it is quite yet. I don't know because Tuesday to Wednesday the COT reports changed. I don't know if they are pushing um, to show uh, positioning that's going to be reversed overnight or into tomorrow. But oil and gold just had some really crazy moves, and I'm going to talk about them in a second here. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. So we have uh, GDX just exploded overnight, and I don't know if it's because of what's going on in the Middle East or if that everybody's getting the notion that um, the Fed is done, or a lot of times what happens between Tuesday and Wednesday, you get these ending moves and they reverse you hard overnight. They get people covering short positions, and then they take it the other way. So tomorrow is going to help me understand things a lot better. If the miners continue higher tomorrow, then I have to assume something else is in play. But if the miners turn back in tomorrow, then that's what I think is going to happen, and they're going to try to sell it down going into the Yellen meeting. So we'll have to wait and see. But GDX was number one volume on my watch list. XLF was down today, and the market was down today. Just a weird day. I'm still holding FAS puts. They're 4250s for the June monthly expiration, so still have time on that. But not doing too much. But I think financials roll over hard before that expiration date. VXX, I'm holding a butterfly on UVXY. It's in the money. It's profitable. I'll get to that in a second. Some guys covered today. The guy that recommended made 100% on it. I'm being a little bit more greedy. I think we're going to get some more weakness. So we'll have to wait and see. SPY is down today. Take a picture. We don't normally see that too much anymore. But I'm just kidding. I just think there's some news coming up on Thursday. Comey, ECB, and some other report. I forget what it is, but I don't try to pay attention to those. So there might be some front running in front of that. So if the market's down tomorrow, then I'm probably going to short volatility on Thursday when Comey testifies and ECB talks about how easy or how hard they're going to be in terms of their monetary policy. But the news will be out, and I think there's a trade there. So just FYI. Speaking of UVXY, I'd love for it. 1250 is my max, which would give me a 10x gain. I'm not holding my breath, but I sure would love for it to pop some overnight and be able to cash in some nice chips on that. $200 investment, looking to see if I can make $1,400 to $1,600 on it. IWM, we've been kind of long and short it today. I'm still holding my credit spread on it, 39,141. I've been buying and selling puts and calls on it as I have a 5-minute indicator that I've been testing. I've been telling you about another um, uh, trading a signal, and so I've been trading it in the room with a couple of the subscribers testing it. So far 5 for 5, but I just don't know if I'm just catching it in a good week. So I'm going to let it run for a couple weeks, and if the results are as they've been for the week so far, I'm very, very encouraged. And it's really optimized for IWM right now, and I'm going to then test it on a couple others to see if it has legs for for other instruments. But it's been really good. I think the guy trading has been posting results in the chat room. I think he made couple hundred to $1,000 on it, and I know up until today I was up 1,000 on it. I'm still in my trade for today, so I'll let you know tomorrow once I'm out of the trade. But so far, looking good. And this is on just 10 contracts, risking 70 to $1.10, per contract. Here's Apple. Apple popped and fell back, and then popped and then fell back. Yeah, I think these are topping moves, but just sure it's just not letting you short it. So I tried to put on it a couple weeks ago. It's just a waste of my money. I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to let the baby break. GDXJ, the miners were strong today, like Bull, Nugget. So we had dust puts, and we cashed them out. And first I started rolling them down, and then I decided, I'm like, hey, I'm going to just get out of these. And then about a half hour later, I'm like, Nugget's way overbought. I think I'm going to go ahead and buy puts on Nugget. And I put a buy stop on it, and Nugget just kept going up. We moved our buy stop down a few times and finally got tagged, and it went up. But it's a crazy move today. And it's interesting. I didn't put this in here. This was in here from before. It looks like we hit some sort of top of a range. And but I have puts for next Friday with the 35s. I'm in at 142. I don't know where it ended. I haven't looked at my screen yet. But like I said, I'm giving it tomorrow. If we get strength on the Nugget, I'm just going to bail out, take my loss, and just wait for it to get more overbought and jump back in. If not, I'll roll it down. These ultras tend to come back in. It's already made a 44% move from its early May low, so it's had already a really good run. See, gold's getting outside the bands here in the VWAP. I'm saying things are starting to get a little stretched here now, so they're front running this, and this might be by design and create disappointment with the Fed meeting. I don't know, or this is just the beginning of a big move. So they don't make it easy, do they? There's dust. I got out at 27 and change and went down to 25 and change. So I thought I was being prudent, and hey, it happens sometimes. So, but I'm not going to look the gift winner in the mouth. So did quite well in that trade since the beginning of May. So I've been rolling down this trade and rolling out this trade now for over a month. So I'm quite happy with the performance of the trade, and I think Nugget's going to do the same thing for us, and then right back into dust puts again. So a little bit of reversal in XLE. We'll see what happens with oil. Unless there's a war, oil's going back down. So I think there's some games going on right now in the Middle East. I think we're getting a little wag the dog action here. XIV down pretty good today. This is foretelling. I think this thing needs to come down some more. I'd love for it to get back down to 70. Like I said, if things go off the rails in terms of how they manage this volatility, XIV by September or October will be $16. And I'm not exaggerating. And it happened before. When you get a persistent move against you on the contract rolls, it'll just be brutal and debilitating. Here's GLD. Here's TZA. Here's UCO. I'm short futures going into this oil report, but I bought 17 calls for June just in case war breaks out on me and I'm sleeping. So I just think the oil move will probably get broken here in the next couple points. But if I'm wrong, I'll close my oil trade out and then close out the UCO calls as my hedge. But I just think that the downtrend is going to continue. We're right up against some pretty strong resistance. Oh, technology relented at the end of the day. I just think these are ending moves. So we'll just see. Big move on First Majestic, and it went from 807 to 894 in one day. I mean, 24 hours, I guess 36 hour period of time. So just incredible squeezes. SDS is moving up. This is the hedge. I told people get SDS or get SH. Somebody asked me in the chat room today, what's like my doomsday positions? Well, I have the two AGs. I have JJG and DBA. And I have IWM puts always in my portfolio. And I have Silver Wheaton always in my portfolio. And I'm adding size there. And so That's kind of how I'm going into the doomsday, and then if we once we break a range, then I can get a little bit more aggressive. But they just been buying all the dips. Dip buyers have to get burned, and then I can get a little bit more aggressive on the short side. SLV's pushing up above the VWAP pretty hard right now. See if that comes back down. But it's been, man, it's just been burning shorts pretty regularly here for the last almost month. T-Day's a small cap. UNG, I think this is a dead cat bounce. There's just no trend yet on it. And the money flow is getting overbought already. So I think this still has one more leg down. And then once it breaks that, if it makes a new low and money flow turns up, then I think natural gas will be a good buy. But no hurry to buy it just yet. Real estate's still flattish. The Amazon stocks have been coming down the last 2 days. I'm just kidding, these are discretionary. Retail is just abysmal. Macy's reported again. Macy's is having a death rattle. They're going to follow Sears out the door. Gymboree went bankrupt. I don't know what people are thinking, and I don't know how people are going to absorb the next healthcare increases that are coming down the pike. I talked about this yesterday. You know, my brother owns his own business too, and he some years he does really well, some years he doesn't because of the I won't say doesn't, but he does better than some years than others, and so he has to cover California, and he 1 year he got full subsidy because business was slow. Last year was pretty good. This year he expected to to get a big project started. It's been delayed now 6 months. These things happen, and when he does really high end stuff, and things get caught up in the cities for months and months and months. And he's just been paying. He's been paying $2,000 a month for just he and his wife for their health care and PPO, and he didn't realize he can go back in for the subsidy. But I mean, he was scrambling along at hey, $4,000 a month here. When he's flush, he does really well. But he goes, man, 50% of my income I'm paying health insurance on. I mean, that's simply criminal. I don't know how people can afford to do it. And even what he's making, he the subsidy will only cover 30 or 40% of that anyway. He's not going to get a full subsidy, and so that's money he's not spending other places. And I think that's just going to collapse the discretionary market. I don't think people truly understand what's going to happen here. You're literally tilting everything into two industries, rental and healthcare, and all these other industries are just going to roll up their doors. And because there's slack capacity, it doesn't mean that there's a one-for-one employment change from people working in the leisure or discretionary markets over to healthcare. It doesn't work that way. And the money also moves, to concentrates into the areas where there's strong biotech and things of that nature, and the unemployment is really spread across the whole country. So I just think it's going to be brutal, and if Republicans need to get their head examined, or they're going to lose power if they don't figure something out that's going to be palatable for people. I think it's going to be that much of a flash issue. Here's oil. Big squeeze. I told you this yesterday. Look, up, up, up. So they just keep trying to ramp these, and then they just fall away. And so I think they're just like, barbarians at the gate. And so, we're flush with oil, and we're going into July, August, and September, really tough times coming up. Let's see, MOS almost got positive today. I actually have calls on this. I think one day it's going to explode higher. I'll just see. It's more lottery, but it's just been really struggling for us. And then I have biotech puts on with XBI, and twice they've tried to ramp this thing, and it's falling away. This candle here is a death candle, and I just be surprised if they break this thing before it breaks down. And money flow is breaking down. The intermediate stochastic should be rolling over soon, and I think this trades. I'm already positive on a trade, but not to the extent that I want to be. I shorted it when it was at 71.20 or 71.30 with puts, but it's I'm talking like I think I'm up like $110 or something on it right now, $120, and but I have high hopes for this one. It's going to break down further. I'm looking at 69.50 as my first target. Okay, we talked it. Okay, so I have wheat and precious metals. I have naked sold puts that are at 20.50 so for Friday. So far, they look like they're out of the money, but I don't care if I get called on them. I got 2,000 shares and I sold the 20.50s, and I've been doing that pretty regularly. And I'm only going to change that if we break out of the above 21.50 and we hold it for a day or two. Because I think we're in a box yet, between $19 and 21.50, and I'm just gonna kind of keep bringing my basis down on silver wheaton, and then once it breaks that box, and I think it will, then I think this thing becomes a double, and I want to have some relatively inexpensively owned silver wheaton or wheaton precious metals by then, and I'm still building myself up to 5,000 shares. Okay, and I think, yeah, here I got FAS puts. I talked about that. And so keep falling for me, please. Here's SCO. Talked about oil. SH. Here's financials. TWM. We own TWM. I'm holding those. This is a position I'm going to keep. I want to close them above this double top here. And I think we're gonna get a good sell-off in June in the markets, and TWM will pay us again. The dollar has drifted down here since middle of May, and I think that's what's been holding the metals up, and also holding the oil down. There's drip. I said in the chat room I thought drip might be ready for some puts. I didn't react to it, but it looked like the call was pretty good, and like I said, we'll see what the oil is, but once this settles, drip will pop back up again. Talk nat gas, DBA. I'm gonna tell this last candle, whatever it is, they just keep trying to short the ags, and the reports aren't that good, so we'll see what happens. Reports for production aren't that good, I should say. There's coffee, push coffee down today. Again, that's why I'm staying away. It's too illiquid, and I think the big money could just keep shorting these producers and end up puking up their production. This was weird today. I thought for sure stock market would be down a lot more, but this probably would help oil a little bit today too. Just look at the ramp on FXY. It's almost recovered that whole move, which is incredible. And if it gets to 95, it'll recover the whole move it did in the beginning of the year. And so I expect them to go after this hard again. They love to try to short this thing for their own benefit. So I wouldn't be surprised. But right now, it looks like FXY is moving higher. Wheat. The wheat ag report was pretty poor and got a little bit of a bid today. We'll see if it gets some legs. And it's kind of worldwide. We're starting getting some production reports that are showing some pretty good shortfalls. We got to eat up the storage first. That's what's holding JJG up. And I miss getting into SILJ. I've been watching, but I hate buying these big gap and goes because I don't know when they're going to reverse on me. So I'm looking for an opportunity to buy it on the first dip. There's sugar, just getting massacred. I think some of it's doing with the Mexico trade tiff too. Corn's doing good. You talk biotech, talk nat gas, talk real estate, talk tech. Okay, we talked the VIX is drifting up again, and this is great. 2.14 for the 10-year. I mean, we're going to get below 2% again. Refi. And that's it. You guys have a great day. We'll back at you tomorrow, and Leave any comments for me or questions in the chat space. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye bye.